Okay, welcome back to the podcast. Today, I have a really special guest. I've decided to bring on one of my clients who just finished Fitness Coach Accelerator. I'm going to let her introduce herself, but the reason I brought her on today is that she focuses on helping busy mums develop a healthy lifestyle and work out. And I wanted to, bring her on so we can extract some of her wisdom to share with you. So, welcome to the podcast, Serena. Let us know a bit about yourself.
All right. Thank you very much. So I am a 35-year-old mother of three, and I homeschool them. So it's kind of like the definition of busy mom. And they're all very close in age and they're all best friends and they all get into a lot of trouble. So it definitely takes a lot of coordination to build all like routine and stuff up. I started with my journey about 10 years ago and it's kind of snowballed. It's been absolutely amazing. I've met so many other like busy moms on the way to health and fitness, and just to kind of watch the different journeys is really inspiring.
Awesome. It's so good to have you on here. I'm excited to sort of bring on more of my clients and get more of a widespread variety of different coaching advice. So let's get straight into it. What do you think is the main thing that holds busy mums back from starting their fitness journey?
So I really think that what really holds people back, these busy moms back, is the illusion of not having enough time. Mm-hmm. And I know that a lot of moms just went, whoa, I really don't have time. You know what I mean? But we prioritize the things that are really important for us. We find the time to do those things, whether it's, we need to eat. Eating's really important. We might be really busy, but we still have to go grocery shopping. Mm-hmm. You can't eat without grocery shopping. So we can't be well without taking care of ourselves. So it's really just putting yourself up there on the top of that priority list to be able to concrete that time in for yourself. And the second reason I think is that when somebody who's never worked out before, a mom, somebody with no time and has really no idea what's going on in the fitness world, we tend to think that taking care of ourselves has to be like this grand gesture. It has to be like this huge thing that we do, when really I recommend that people take like little bite size, like, Pac-Man, how he just cruises along and eats all the little things. And I feel like it's the same thing as that, instead of looking at that big picture and being like, well, that's just so much to do, kind of breaking it down. A lot of times moms think that they have to have like these huge goals to set for themselves, when really just moving your body a couple of times a week and drinking enough water is all you need.
Mm-hmm, definitely. And you've seen that with one of your clients you were just telling me about earlier, who's just started implementing just some daily movement and some just water. Mm-hmm. And she's lost, how much has she lost already?
11 pounds in 2 weeks.
See, it's crazy. So yeah. I love that. And it does definitely, when you are someone who hasn't sort of started their fitness journey yet, it does seem overwhelming. Like you have to be really committed, go to the gym every day and like eat a strict diet. But yeah, that's absolutely right. Like helping people understand that it's just taking small steps every day and starting to build a routine. And, that pays off over time. So that's really awesome. Okay, so as a coach, how do you help these women understand the importance of taking care of their health? Because we all know that mums like to put everyone else first, right?
Yes. So one thing that I'd say to moms is it is definitely important that our kids come before us. Mm-hmm. They are that we care for them. My husband gets upset with me because if one time it was like the dead of winter and my 7-year-old didn't grab her coat off of the rack as we were walking out the door and we didn't notice. So we get out of the car and she's all, "Mommy, I'm so cold." Well, I left my jacket in our vehicle, and my husband was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Well, she's cold, so I have to be cold." It's just natural. It's just a natural reaction that moms have. But what we don't realize, and what I help women realize, is that when you are taking care of yourself, when you're feeling well, both physically and mentally, you are so much better able to take care of your kids. Yeah. So while it's important that their needs are met, it's equally important that your own needs are met. And once you start to move, it'll also create confidence for you to continue to work on other journeys too, whatever it may be. And then just for moms to realize that taking care of themselves is not only about them. If you do want to think about it and putting your kids first, a mother's mental health is the best thing that she can give to her kids, because when we feel poorly about ourselves, we tend to treat the people around us poorly, a reflection of our own, like inner turmoils.
Mm-hmm.
But the same is true, though, Sally, when you feel good about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
When you're feeling well physically and mentally, it's a complete different shift, because you would treat that energy kind of like spills out into the world around you, and the world is a better place. Absolutely. because you're happy. Mm-hmm. Everybody's world, everything that you touch is just better.
Yeah. And that goes for everyone, not just mums, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody.
Awesome. So I guess for busy mums who haven't put themselves first in a long time, what type of exercises and routine would you start them off with so that they don't get so overwhelmed and want to throw in the towel like what we talked about earlier?
Yeah. So the very first thing that we work on are simple shifts. So I think it has a lot to do with like vernacular, things as well. So using lighter and softer words in it is very important. So instead of a lifestyle change, which indicates huge changes, mm-hmm. I lead my clients toward lifestyle shifts. So we're going to shift away from soda. Mm-hmm. Replace it with maybe sparkling water, or shift away from, obvious food that's shit food, garbage, mm-hmm. And drinking more water. And then I also recommend that they find a probiotic and a prebiotic. So fiber and your probiotics to help start with like the gut health. And on the exercise side, I always start with core work. Mm-hmm. So core work is going to be your most important. It's essential for any sort of movement at all. And especially if you're carrying your baby around, or the car seat hooked on one arm and the heavy diaper bag on the other arm, that core strength has to be solid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's awesome advice. It's like functional. Start with the most functional areas. Okay. So I know that you focus on helping mums with both the body and mind, which is an awesome little twist that you have with your business. So on top of the workouts and the nutrition, what other tools or tasks do you provide them with, and how much do you think that helps?
So I really feel like it helps a lot of moms to realize how good it feels to have self-compassion. Mm-hmm. And learn how to be kind and gentle with yourself. Because as with starting anything new, you're going to mess up. You're going to fail. You're going to have to start all over again. It will be hard, but teaching moms like different skills to implement to where they're being able to learn that self-compassion, like self-awareness, maybe meditation, things along those lines, affirmations, replacing negative thoughts with positive ones, helps to kind of give you that if you do miss a morning workout because your kid won't sit down and watch Paw Patrol for 30 minutes, that is okay. It's really not that big of a deal. Go to the playground, run around. You're still moving your body. It's still good for you. Mm-hmm. But really just to be able to be malleable almost with your routine, because everybody talks about routine and schedule and routine, and it's so important to have that, but it's also equally important to realize that it's not the end of the world if your routine gets messed up somehow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I love that you include the mindset side of things, where it's, talking about the meditation. You talk a lot about yoga as well and do demonstrations on your Instagram. It's awesome that I think you talk about journaling as well, right?
I do. Yeah. So I really love the idea of like a bullet journal, mm-hmm. Or it could even just be like a regular lined or ruled journal too, but writing things down, making lists, and kind of like a brain dump, just get it all out of your head and onto a piece of paper, because that way you can visualize your day and see how things are going to go. And it just feels so much more organized.
Yeah, it's such a different approach you're taking, because a lot of PTs are sort of, like drill sergeants, right? They're just like, be motivated, go do it, don't miss leg day.
Yeah.
But for a lot of people, it's like they just that style is not going to work for them. They need to have a different approach, a more compassionate approach, more understanding, and help them to fit in exercise and nutrition into their lifestyle in a way that works for them, right?
Exactly. So one of my biggest things is that we are all so unique, right down to like our physiology. Everybody is so completely different that when we try to force ourselves into like a mold, any mold, but here into like some sort of fitness mold, we aren't going to fit. And I mean, and for a lot of people it works and they make it work because of certain goals that they have. But I find with my market that that's just not how they fit in. And it's very discouraging. So I take a gentler approach, and as long as you move your body, you win in my book.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Small progress over time.
Yeah.
Okay. So what would you say you found to be most helpful with getting busy mums to stay consistent with their workouts?
Friends.
Having
friends. Yes, having friends. So in my accountability group that's running right now, all of the women that are in there, without being prompted by me, are now friends with each other on Facebook. And so some ladies will post like the one of the girls who posts her workouts in there. I saw that another woman in there was on her private profile encouraging her to continue to go and telling her, I was so inspired by your video that I got up and worked out myself today. And this is not only happening in the accountability group, but outside of it as well, because they're making friends, they're encouraging each other and holding each other accountable. And when you know that there's somebody with similar goals as you, so whether you want to lose 10 pounds or 100 pounds, if your goal is to be healthier, feel better, and find like that contentment, then is like find your tribe, I think is what people talk about, right? Is how they say it right now, is finding those people who have the same interests and goals as you, and it helps to hold you accountable.
Yeah. I guess it could be quite isolating if you are just trying to do it all on your own and stay motivated and inspired to do it all at the same time. Yeah.
Right. So, and the second thing is to find your true reason for doing what you're doing. So I find that when a girl wants to work out, or a woman wants to work out with me because she wants to, let's say, be skinny is just like a relative goal. And well, she wants to be skinny because she wants to be more attractive. Well, that is a reason why people work out. And if that's how my meaning is, that is not necessarily the truest reason underneath. So I would then find the root to that insecurity and help her to really find out what your reason is, why, because once you know why, it doesn't matter how.
Yeah, I love that, because a lot of people, like you said, say it was they want to be skinny, right? And maybe that's because they feel like they'll look better, and then maybe they'll be able to attract a partner. And so really it's that they're needing that love and affection in their life. That's right, the real why. And then you could start to give them some tools to give themselves that love that they need. At the same time as, working on their health and fitness. So that's awesome. That's great advice. Okay. So what advice do you have for the coaches that are listening to this podcast that might want to start targeting the same audience that you are, and how should they approach it? What should their focus be?
To show your clients that you are human too. Okay, it can be really disheartening when somebody who is just starting on their fitness journey, kind of might not have very good muscle structure or be overweight or whatever their situation is. If you show up like, I'm here to save the day, then you put that focus is on you. And it can be intimidating to your client. So to be able to show them that this is hard for you too, and it wouldn't, to get to where you are now physically wasn't an easy journey for you either, humanizes you and makes you more relatable to your clients, which is really, really important. And then to go back to finding their intention for the changes that they want to make, being really clear on their reason why. And that way, instead of just being able to prescribe crunches because they want a 6-pack abs, you can say, okay, well, why do you want this 6-pack abs? Why do you feel this way? And kind of getting to that root. And again, finding their why is really helpful. And then you can remind them of that as well.
Awesome. So with all the extra tools and mindset side of things that you focus on, what would you recommend to other coaches to include on top of their workouts and their nutrition advice? Is there anything in particular that you think is going to be the most helpful, even if it's just one thing?
Yes. Have your clients keep track of their mood daily. At the end of the day, what I do with mine is for their bullet journals, they've set up a color key. It's 4 different colors. They can be whatever colors they want and attach whatever moods they want to it. But they are writing it down every day. This is the color I feel today, or they highlight it and then write down like a sentence or like a little blip about why they felt that way in that day. Because when they can track how they're feeling and their mental health and watch it increase and improve in a forward fashion as they are working on their physical health and their nutrition as well, they'll be able to correlate that all together and be like, wow, not only am I 10 pounds lighter and I've lost 17 inches over my entire body, but I'm happy.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's great advice. One last question I'm going to throw in here that you weren't expecting. What advice would you give to a coach who's working with a mum who has lost the motivation and is starting to pull back? What advice would you give this coach to sort of get them re-inspired, re-motivated, and back on track again?
So finding out why they're pulling back, a lot of the main reason I find that people pull back, there's 2 things. One is that they feel like they have too much going on. And they have to take something off their plate. So they choose, well, this is something that I'm doing for me. And if I don't do this, it's not going to really affect the people around me. So I'm going to keep up with my other necessary things instead. And my advice to the coaches helping with these people would be just to remind them that even though they are spending time on themselves each week, that is time that they are going to gain back once they have more energy and their days are, lighter and brighter because of the positive mindset shifts and they're feeling better, that this is just going to be something that's given back to them.
Right. Awesome. That's such good advice. Thank you so much for coming on here and sharing your wisdom with us.
Absolutely.
Let us know where you can be found on social media. What's the best place for our listeners to connect with you if they have any questions or if they just want to be your friend?
Well, I love friends. I always tell everybody whenever I meet new people that they are my BFFs or best fitness friends. I love that. I love that so much. So yeah, definitely friend me or follow me, but it's on Instagram. My handle is my name, Serena_life_between_weights.
Awesome. Definitely go connect with Serena. She is a lovely person and you can see what she's up to. And also you can check out her program if you're looking for some inspiration on, the types of the ways that she's coaching her clients. Serena, again, thank you so much for coming on. And thank you to our listeners. If you have any feedback, come connect with me on Instagram. It's me, Sally Lee, and I'll see you all on the next episode.